Hello, welcome to Chess with Chris. We are here, we are live. It's a different day of the week than normal. Normally I stream Mondays and Tuesdays, but this week was a little bit weird. So we are on a Thursday, Friday schedule this week, and back to Monday and Tuesday starting again next week. So, with that out of the way, I'm gonna jump into this. Let's see here. I'm gonna jump into this Rapid tournament. I'm definitely late, and I certainly can't play the whole thing. It's an 8-hour tournament, and I don't normally stream for more than 2 or 3 hours. So we'll just see how well we can do in the time allotted. So this is the tournament, the Rapid Shield Arena. It's 8 hours. So it's a monthly tournament that happens. I'm not sure why they decided to do this and the Rapid. Like, they have a monthly Rapid Arena, right? And now they have this Rapid Shield Arena. So I don't really understand the difference between the two exactly, or why they have both. But okay. So I've got my first opponent here. Go ahead and play my first move. I'm against OSA 1974. Okay. So Queen's Gambit decline, or Queen's Gambit. Let's see if, yeah, he does decline it. That's the classical way to decline it. With the 3 knights variation. Alright, so this move is it's interesting. So I think I just I could play E3, I could play A3, I could play C takes D5. I don't really know what the main move is here. I'm guessing it's either one of these two, either C takes or E3. On C takes he'd have knight here. Let's just go with E3. Okay, so he's giving me the bishop pair. I like this. Now the the dark square bishop that he's given up is one that's my bad bishop, but I should be able to let's get rid of my double pawn. So let's just do that really quick. Interesting, he didn't take with a pawn to let his bishop out. I think that tells me he wants to play like b6 and bishop b7. With him threatening this pawn, I think I need to deal with that. I can develop my queen and defend the pawn at the same time. I could also move c4. I think I'd rather just develop my queen. If I want to kick the knight, I want to do it with e4 instead, just to get my bishop out. This bishop. All right. So c5 attacks my center, but I don't need to respond to that quite yet. Certainly not going to take it, giving myself an isolated pawn. So I think I want to develop this bishop and castle. Where to, though? Probably here. Comes with a nice threat. So he took that really quickly. This comes with check. And then I can take back here. Or here. I think I'll throw in a check and then take here. If he blocks, I'll take 3 pieces, or sorry, 3 pawns for the bishop, and my queen ends up on this square. So that seems good for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and win a pawn. I still have a choice as to whether to take with the c pawn or the e pawn. Probably with the e pawn, just to let the bishop out faster. Okay, so now I'm going to retreat the bishop. I could also develop petting the knight, because he doesn't have h6 to kick my bishop away. And then if he takes, I just take his queen. Yeah, seems good. Hey, Nicolay. I just noticed you in the chat. My chat window was covered up there for a sec. Okay, so again here, I was just going to grab the 3 pawns in front of the king for the minor piece. Now I'm threatening to take... Well, not really. So I'd like to maybe march this pawn up. Maybe do something with this knight. I'm not sure. He's threatening like rook here, right? No, rook here I just... Actually, yeah, that forces a trade of queens, right? Because queen h7 after queen h6 check. So that's no good. I don't want to trade queens. I suppose after rook here I could just move my queen back, but that's not really what I want. I'm looking for like a forcing move here to continue my attack. There's bishop takes, and like say queen takes, like queen check here, and then I can move my knight in. But I'm very quickly running out of pieces to attack with, and then this may allow the... Yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely low on time here. My opponent has played too quickly, and I don't know. I've just been sitting here thinking. Well, okay, so I just realized that moving this knight here undefended my bishop. So I can't move my queen away from the defense of the bishop now. So now if I take here, he has to take back with the queen. Or no, he doesn't. He could take back with the rook. But he takes back, and then I put him in check here, and then move my knight in maybe. Yeah, just trading pieces off just seems bad for me now, but I don't see a way to avoid either changing the... Like, trading the minor piece avoids the trade of the queens, I think. Because he can't move his queen off of this diagonal with the bishop here. So I'd rather trade a minor piece than a queen, that's for sure. Okay, he has knight takes though. Oh, he didn't go for that. Okay. So now queen check. Is this better? If queen back here, it gives him the opportunity to make this mistake of rook f8. Let's see. How would I say this name? Likteprid. Right now the song list is just stuff that I've queued up. So all right. So he fell for that. So that now this check wins the exchange. So right now the song list is just me, playing songs that I like. If you want to feel free to add to the playlist. That's your song would come up right next. So. Yeah, cool. All right, so now he has 2 minor pieces for the rook, but I have so many pawns that I should be doing fine here. So I'm going to defend this pawn. So I think I can just take here. Or sorry, I could just push here, but I'd like to kick the knight away first. So let's do this, and then I'll push here. Oh, okay. So now he's. I take here. He checks me. I move out of the way. Takes my rook, and then I get a pass pawn here. But then he can move his knight away. I don't know. I could just take with check, and then take his knight. Yeah, let's do that. Oh, so it doesn't go for this. Okay. Let's defend against the knight fork. Let's push the knight backwards. If he goes here, that would be bad for him, I think. Okay. I threaten this pawn. If I sack the exchange, I've got like 3 pawns. I'm just 3 pawns up here. Like I feel like simplifying the material imbalance is good for me here. So I mean I'm just 3 pawns up here. Should be easy enough to win. Yeah, so he's taking here with check, and that's kind of a bummer. Okay, I gotta play fast. Now I'm only 2 pawns up. This is a nice orchestral, actually. It's pretty cool. And that should win. So 30 seconds, I should be able to win this in 30 seconds. So I play against a person and not a CPU. Yeah, this is just another person in the tournament that I've joined. So his name is OSA 1974. The soundtrack of a Japanese movie. Yeah, I like orchestral stuff like this. Yeah, I like music like this a lot. Okay, now he's letting his time run for some reason. Did he like rage quit? Maybe he just stepped away from his computer because he lost his rook. So, Lictopred, are you a fan of Japanese cinema, or are you Japanese yourself? You're Dutch, but you like Japanese films. Oh, nice. We live in a smaller and smaller world where we can all enjoy one another's culture. It's kind of nice. I was drinking a Belgian beer last night. Of course, Dutch, Holland, Belgium. I think those are different places. Excuse my poor United States geography. You're not like a movie buff. Oh, okay. Well, you just watch whatever you like, I guess. Belgium is to the south of the Netherlands. Okay. Okay. But they do share a border, right? I'm close. And they're pretty famous for their beer. Yeah. I think the beer that I liked last night that I tried was Stella Artois. Um, that's actually my wife's favorite beer. Yeah, Southern Neighbor. That's what I thought. So yeah, Stella Artois is my wife's favorite beer, and we drank that together last night for the American holiday, Fourth of July, our Independence Day. So that was fun. This guy is just going to let his clock run out, apparently, instead of resigning, which is very, how do I say this? It's rude, right? You're supposed to just resign. Um, but I have to sit here and pay attention just in case he decides to make a move in the last minute. You're not a beer fan. Okay. All right. Well, Stella is a big name. It's one of the more popular European imports in the United States, right up there with Guinness and some of the other big European imports. I'm trying to think what Japanese movies I've seen. I saw one I think was actually Korean, but it was about Japan. Um, Something like The Handmaid or something like that. I want to say that was about Japan. It could have been about China. I don't know, but I feel like it's in the same. At least for me, maybe it's bad to say, but all of those cultures run together for me. Yeah, The Handmaid was really good. The ending really surprised me, um, and I can predict a lot of endings sometimes. This is set during the Japanese occupation of Korea. Okay, yeah, so I knew Japan was in there somewhere. Right. Cool. I really will wait another minute and a half for this guy to let his clock run. It's in both of our interests to go back to the tournament and play another game as fast as possible. But I guess he's pissed that I took his rook or something. I don't know. All right. It's okay. This is a long tournament. We both have a chance to make up the time. So Spirited Away, isn't that's an animated film, right? Um, I know a lot of Japanese stuff is animated. You know, I mean, there's something called anime, right? Um, so I wonder how many of these songs are from an anime versus like a live action movie. The first was from a live action movie. Okay. So the one that's playing right now is from Spirited Away. Yeah, and this is the animated thing. I've heard of Spirited Away, but I haven't watched it. Okay. So now I have more time than my opponent for the first time in the entire game. Okay, back to tournament. Let's get another game going. So I'm in the Rapid Shield Arena here. Alright, I got my next opponent. Again, pared down substantially. So I won that last game on time. Yeah, my opponent didn't move, so when his clock goes to 0, I win. I was winning on the board too. I was a couple moves away from making a queen and checkmating him, but he didn't want to let that happen. Alright, which Sicilian am I going to play here? I think I'll play this one. Okay, so I've created the pawn structure I wanted very easily with my opponent's help. So that was nice. So I've got 2 center pawns and he only has 1, so that's a nice plus for me. I've gone ahead and castled. My bishop has a future if I play him here, or maybe out this way after pushing e5. Headman is actually based on an English book. Oh, that's interesting. But it's set in like a true historical period. I mean, Japan really did occupy Korea, right? So I think if I'm going to play bishop a6, I would rather play a5 first. Playing for e5 here makes some sense, but I'd rather not undermine my center pawn d5 for now. Oh wow, that's a long time. Yeah, so I guess that makes sense that they stopped doing that around the end of World War II. That's funny. We didn't in history class we didn't study much of the Japanese aggression beyond what they did to us in Pearl Harbor. So I'm not really familiar with what was going on with Japan and Korea and China before World War II. Like before the U.S. got into World War II, I never really knew what Japan was up to before that. Okay. Yeah, and I guess they thought they could push us around the same way they pushed China and Korea. Interesting. Indonesia. Okay. So I guess it wasn't all bad. Well, maybe bad for the Dutch, for you guys. True. That's not possible quite yet. This looks like a good move. Yeah, that's kind of what I was thinking about. Like Japan was a kind of a net positive for the Indonesians. But I'm kind of anti-colonist, right? Like I don't like how the United States is treating other countries these days. So, um, okay, what's happening here? If I take this way, he can just trade. But at the end of that, my knight is defending my bishop. So I think I just went a pawn here. Oh, but if he trades this one off, I have to take with the knight. Oh, so now I can take with the rook. My pass pawn should be good. Yeah, let's see what happens here. So his outside pass pawn could be dangerous. My knight's covering the queen square for now. Maybe my king can help out at some point. Oh, I could have just taken his knight with check. Oh, that was a mistake. Okay. Well, now my pawn should queen faster than his. He can't really work with this anymore. And my pawn is 2 moves away. And so if I go here, he can't defend this square. He's not threatening any checks. I think I'm okay. And back to tournament. All right. Good deal. So I've won 2 games in a row. I'm in 494 out of 1300. That's pretty low, but it's in the top half at least. Hopefully I can win a few more. See how this goes. Oh, I like this so far. This has been my favorite song request at this point. Gahato. Dutch government didn't accept it and fought a pretty long and brutal colonial war in Indonesia. Oh, interesting. So that lasted longer than World War II then. Okay, so I'm paired up now. This guy probably knows what he's doing here. And yeah, he's played quite a bit. A Moroccan chess player. Okay. So you're Dutch, Netherlands, Holland. So I think if I remember right, I just finished reading a history book about the history of spices and the spice trade, and the Dutch East India Company was one of the last chapters in that book, and that was a really interesting read, actually. Okay, what should I do here? I actually had a similar position against my first game. I think I played e3 in that position, and then I played a6 to kick the bishop. I don't remember what my opponent in the first game did here. Maybe he castled. But anyway, the spice trade, first Venice dominated the markets in Europe, trading with the Middle East, and then Portugal figured out how to sail around Africa, right? And then they started dominating the market by trading directly with India and eliminating the middleman of all the Middle Eastern companies. And then the Dutch took over from Portugal. And I don't remember what the cause of the Portuguese. I don't remember what the decline of the Portuguese, like how that happened. Unfortunately, but yeah, that was a really interesting read. Yeah, I think the East India Company like had some pretty brutal trading practices where they yeah, because they used colonies, right? Like Portugal actually just sent trading ships and didn't really establish. Am I thinking of that correctly? I don't think Portugal had very many colonies in the same way that the Dutch East India Company did. So I think the colonies was the thing that led to the decline of the Portuguese trade, because Portugal was just like sending ships to India and trading with India, whereas Dutch East India Company like took over the entire control of from production all the way to the sale, to where they claimed ownership of the land and all the spices in their colonies. No, that's probably true. I mean, I'm not defending Portugal. I'm just saying that they weren't as ruthless as the Dutch. Um, yeah, yeah. Okay, so that leaves the light squares over here a little bit weaker. I could consider this move hitting here and here. Let's try that. So now I can take here. If he takes with the pawn, then I have this bishop check followed by the knight up. If he takes with the knight, I wish I had a fork, but I don't. But yeah, let's try that anyway. Oh, he took with the pawn. Interesting. So this allows me to develop my bishop with tempo, and then I can go here, course, after knight here, this isn't actually a threat because he's got pieces to defend it. He doesn't have to ruin his pawns. Okay, but now I can come here, stopping him from castling at least on that side. I think I'll do that. I better not play a5, a4 first, because he could just castle immediately. Okay, so let's go here. This is a pretty infamous quote called Jan Petersen Cullen, who basically, infamous figure. Okay, for some reason I said quote. Who basically wiped out the population of the whole island because they didn't accept his demands for the spice trade. Yeah, that's really something. Okay, so the bishop has to come back, probably here. Although this might have some merit to it. A little bit more active, challenges his bishop. Yeah, let's go here instead. Yeah, the mood of this music is so interesting. I really like this. Gohata. Original soundtrack, track number 3. Taboos. I wonder what this movie's about to have such a weird soundtrack. Well, I can't defend with the queen because my bishop hangs. I can come back with the knight to try to castle. I think I'll do that. I do want a castle. But yeah, he's forced me to concede something here with this knight move. So Gohata is set in 19th century Japan around the time when the U.S. opened up Japan. Oh, right. Okay. Okay, so now I can't... Oh, geez, I can't castle because I just lose my knight. And if he takes here, I can't take back because I lose my bishop. That's brutal. Okay, so I guess I defend with my rook now. Again, I'm trying to castle. Samurai militia that recruits a young, beautiful boy into its ranks. A beautiful boy, not just any boy. Okay. Oh, that's funny. Only the Japanese. such an interesting topic for a movie. So I'm going to skip to my song request here, since we're talking about soundtracks and whatnot. This is one of my favorite soundtrack songs. Okay, so now here, don't I have this move? Oh no, he just takes. Oh, you actually requested something else. Okay. So mine will be after yours here. Okay. So I think I take here and then castle. So I'm threatening to take here with you know, the idea of winning a pawn. So my guess is he'll take here, and then I'll take with a queen. Oh wow. So now don't I just win a pawn? Oh no, because he takes with the queen, and then he's got a pawn here. But then I double my rooks up really quickly. It seems good. My rooks will be active faster than his. And I have a pass pawn. Interesting. So he wants to play this endgame where he has the outside potential pass pawn, and then I have this one. I'm going to improve my king, sorry. Yeah, so here's the soundtrack song that I really like. So if you get a pawn to the other side of the board, it becomes a queen. Ah, yes. So Elixir Bread. Okay, so you're like my main viewer right now. I guess you're pretty beginner. Yeah, if you yeah. So the whole goal in the end game. So the end game here is where we just have our king and a couple of pieces plus some pawns, right? So in the end game, all we're fighting to do is to queen one of our pawns. And once we get the queen and our opponent doesn't, then yeah, we have a big advantage. So that's the goal here. So with the rook end games, usually the idea is to attack the weak pawns and to restrict the enemy king. So I feel like this move might be good because it attacks one of his pawns and it puts his king in a box here. So I'm going to go this way. All right, now I'm going to start marching my king around because his rook can't restrict my king in the same way that mine is restricting his. So I have a small plus here, I think, in this endgame. Very small at the moment, just because his king is restricted and mine is not. So ideally, I'd like to get my king all the way up here, but of course his pawns now control these squares, meaning my king has to go somewhere like this, which it's going to be more difficult now. So I still want to keep his king from coming on this file, so I'm going to move my rook back this way. So I think back to the second rank is fine. Actually, I want my king to go behind the rook, so probably here. Oh, it's okay. That's the way I started as well. My dad taught me. And then I guess the only difference is, I played him enough times to where I ended up beating him, and then he didn't want to play me after that. And I started playing against other people in tournaments and whatnot. So no, it's okay. I'll try to explain. Really, that's the whole point of my stream is to try to explain my moves to people like you, to help you improve your game. So I think this king and pawn ending is drawn. Because my king will fight against his extra pawn, and his king will fight against my extra pawn, and neither side will be able to make progress. So let's see how this works. So if I hold a draw against someone who's quite a bit stronger than me, I'll be really pleased. So he's fighting for the win here, trying to prove that his outside pass pawn is better than my interior pass pawn. Okay, so that gives my king some breathing room, kind of like to be able to fight here. So the higher the number, yeah, this number right here is called a rating. So when you win, you gain rating points, and when you lose, you lose rating points. That's correct. Yeah, I was rated higher than both of my previous opponents, and now I'm paired up in the tournament because I'm doing well. Usually, the better you do, the stronger your opposition is, and the worse you do, the worse your opposition is. 496 out of however many's in the tournament. I think it was like 1,400. I think. So this is the place that we're in, and yeah, this is our rating. So this is an indication of how strong of a player we are, and this is where we are standing wise in the tournament. Oh boy. Yeah. Okay, so now I have 2 pass pawns here in the center, but he's going to have 2 pass pawns on the outside. And outside pass pawns are much better than interior ones because I can't. My king is the only one that can try to catch one of these 2 pawns, so he has a win here. So I'm going to trust that he knows how to make this win, but yeah, this is really bad for me actually. Yeah, I'm just going to resign actually. There's no point. Yeah. In fact, there's statistics on this. If we go, hang on, I'm going to pause the tournament for a minute, and I'm going to show you how this works with the ratings. So if we go to, where is it? Like players, maybe? I forget where it is in this menu here. So under learn, there is team, forum, questions and answers, tools, analysis, open, explorer. Maybe it's in my profile. It's not here. Where is this? Learn, watch, community. Maybe it's like somewhere weird. Like I'm trying to find a graph of all the players. Study, coaches, coordinates, practice, puzzles, chess basics, watch. TV, games, streamers, broadcasts, video library, community, players, teams, forum, question, tools. Weird. So this is the same menu as up here. About. No, that's not it either. Okay, someday I'm gonna remember where that is. There's a graph that shows the bell curve of all the players on Lichess, and it shows like where you are on that bell curve, and it shows what your percentile is. So I think I'm in like 95th percentile in rapid chess. So I'm better than like 95% of all the players on Lichess in this time control. Okay, so I'm paired down again. Okay, so this is like a counter gambit where I'm offering this pawn, but he's offering this pawn. So I will go ahead and take. So this is a website, lichess.org. Yeah. So he sacrificed his pawn without taking mine. So I have this extra pawn here that's kind of weak. It's kind of hard for me to defend this pawn with another pawn. So his plan here should be able to should just be to simply attack and win this pawn back while completing his development. But he traded off this knight. He traded off this knight that's used to attack this pawn normally. So I may just have an extra pawn here. It doesn't look like he has much compensation. Yeah, it is. It's definitely, yeah, it is Game of Thrones, that's for sure. But I love this. I love that that music. So now I want to hit his bishop, kind of, and then threaten to go here as well. But he has this check. That's just castle. Or I can hit his queen. Yeah, but that's no good. Actually, I mean, it just forces him to develop his queen. So I'll just go here, and then prepare to castle. Oh, Morgohato. All right. This is more music from the homosexual samurai. Okay. The way this music is, you'd almost think it's a horror movie, but it's not. Okay, so now he's really offering this as a gambit to be able to let me trade off my weak pawn. And it doesn't look like he'll ever get that pawn back easily. So I think I will go ahead and take here and then go ahead and castle. So now my extra pawn is back here, where it's nice and safe. So I'm gonna go ahead and castle. I have to calculate though, because this move looks threatening. Attacking my queen. Maybe I should play h3 to defend against that. Because bishop g4 looks like it would really suck. I mean, my queen has to go here, and I don't know. It's actually not too bad now that I'm seeing more, because like his bishop taking here, my knight takes. It doesn't look terrible. Maybe knight here takes off this bishop. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'll go ahead and prevent it. This is a useful move anyway, because after I castle, I won't have back rank issues. Yeah, no problem. You can queue up the songs 3 in a row, so you can have as many as three as you like. You can have as many as 3 at once in the queue. So you can queue them up 3 at a time. So this song reminds me a little bit of Westworld. I mean, it doesn't really sound like a piano, but it kind of does. And Westworld has that like old style piano. Slightly detuned, whatever that is. What is that move about? Why would you retreat your bishop? I guess he wants to come here. So queen here has a nice threat with the pawn being pinned. I wonder what he would do. I guess knight here is actually a problem. I don't want to lose my 2 bishops. It's just improve the rook now. I can hit his queen. His queen doesn't have this square. And if his queen comes here, I have this move. So there's not really many good options for the queen. Maybe queen here, and then I would put my other rook on this file. Ah, queen there, okay. So now I can threaten to win a piece. So I'll go ahead and do that. Speaking of horror, there is a Japanese horror film that I'm familiar with called Ringu, which was remade by an American filmmaker. Um, and that movie was called The Ring. It was that was a really creepy movie. Um, I have to say I disagree. Pianos didn't sound out of tune in the 19th century. Um, maybe we just think of it that way because pianos that old tend to be out of tune, but they were in tune back when they were being played. Okay, now queen here seems okay. I can take back with the knight. Yeah, so I didn't sing Ringu, but I did see the ring. So now I have two different threats. I'm threatening bishop h6 and also b4. So I'm not sure what he does about both of those. Cheap pianos in a salon. Yeah, it's just poorly maintained. That's the problem. If you don't tune a piano after 5-10 years, it begins to sound like that. But most pianos, the owners take care of them, and they want them to sound nice. Ringu. Oh, interesting. But the ring really freaked me out. Like I watched that in college, and even as a 20-something, like that was rough. That was a rough movie to watch. Um, so after bishop here, he has knight here actually. Then I play queen here, and I don't really have a threat actually. Okay, yeah. So this move wasn't as serious as I thought. Now that I'm seeing this more, but his queen is suddenly very short on squares. Because he can't go back this way. I don't know. His queen actually has a bunch over this way and this way. Maybe a bishop here makes some sense. Blocking his queen off and pinning the knight to this mate threat. It also frees up the knight to come here maybe. Let's try that. Well, the knight can't go here now because it interrupts the defense of the bishop. But if I was to play like rook e1, then knight here, the bishop would be defended by the rook. So I have 10 minutes total at my disposal to make all of your moves. That's correct. Yeah. So with this time control, it's a 10-minute 10-minute plus 0. So you start out with 10 minutes, and then every move you make, you get 0 seconds. Other time controls might have like a 1, 2, or 3 here, so that they add some number of seconds every time you make a move. So actually, his queen now has to go back this way. So I think I will force his queen back there. Just on principle, because I don't like the fact that... Well, actually, no, he has this square. But either way, this looks good for me. To force his queen off this rank and allow my knight to come here without having to move the rook. So now my bishop's not attacked, so my knight can come here. So that seems good. I'll do that. Go ahead and do that. You say Ringu scared you more than the ring. Wow. Maybe I'll have to check that out then. Okay, so he's threatening my queen. So my queen needs to keep with the defense of this pawn, so maybe queen here to threaten the knight. Seems logical. I guess he is threatening this, but I would be happy to take the 2 minor pieces for the rook. So although at the end of that my king is on f2, and he would have g5 winning my knight. So I think I need to hang out with this pawn as well. But queen here falls to this as well. Oh no, I might actually be in trouble here. How is that possible against a 1600 player? That's actually a really good move. So maybe queen here, and then I just give up this pawn. I'm not sure. Okay, yeah, so I'm happy to give up this material for the my rook for the bishop. When I get both the knight and the bishop, I think that's better than a rook. And I was already a pawn up, so now I just have 2 minor pieces for his rook. And as you can see here, my 2 pieces are doing a lot more than his rook is. So in this move that I was afraid of, g5 is no longer available because my queen is here. So with my queen here, though, g5 would have been scary, because after takes, the rook is pinning the knight to the king, and then g5 would win it because my knight wouldn't be able to move. I would be in check. Oh my god, I'm losing this rook. How did that yeah, I'm blundering here. This is really bad. Oh, I'm not losing this. Oh wait, the queen's defending it. Woo, that's close. I totally missed this. Actually, queen here was good for a number of reasons. It prevented g5 and it prevented this queen take. He does have a check here. I think I would just come back to g1. What determines who has won when your timer runs out? No, if your timer runs out, you just lose. Like, that's how it works. Yeah, if you don't make your moves in under the time allotted, then you basically cheated by using too much time to think. Right? So yeah, it's called sudden death. So if you don't make your moves, if you don't win before this timer runs out, you lose. So we'll start to play faster and faster and faster as the time goes on. So earlier in the game we were using a minute, maybe even 2, to determine like a really difficult move, but now, yeah. So this is a mistake, I think. You don't normally want to. Well, if I take here, they can just tactically, like my bishop has to hang out with this. I guess it's okay. So now in this endgame, I'm trying to prove that my 2 pieces are better than his rook. And usually they are because they can team up and attack stuff together. We're not doing that yet, but like they're both attacking this square, but that doesn't really do anything for me right now. But I'm out to prove that that these two pieces are better than this rook. So now I have more time than him. That's a big advantage to have. So I definitely want to keep my time advantage if I can. And now I could just take this pawn. Oh, but then he has this move, winning one of my pieces. That's no good. We can't allow that. Alright, so let's move the bishop back. Yeah, let's go just all the way back, it's fine. Okay, so now I can safely take this pawn. Oh, and now he's let me fork his rooks. So this is a big deal. He has to move one of them and I take the other. And after I trade my knight for one of his rooks, I'm just a clean bishop ahead. Oh, except he's pinned this. So maybe he's found a way out of this, actually. Because now, if he takes, then I'm just trading rooks. That's fine. Let's do that. Okay. Hey, Rick. How's it going, man? Rick is another one of my regular viewers from Europe. It's from Finland, I believe. So yeah, Rick, my schedule changed this week. I'm normally on Mondays and Tuesdays, as you know, and but you know, this week was weird with the American holiday earlier this week. I had some plans that I couldn't get out of earlier in the week, so now I'm this week I'm doing Thursday, Friday instead of Monday, Tuesday. Okay, I need to get my king and stuff working here. Oh, that's bad. It's a good thing I had this tactic. So it looks like I'm winning on time here, if nothing else. Okay, yeah, so he ran out of time here, so I won. Alright, so I'm still trying to remember, where is the Lichess rating graph thing? I thought maybe it's in my profile. I don't know. Wait a minute. I've got a game starting. Okay, hang on. Pair down again. Miriam G. Okay, E3 is usually the Kali system. So against the Kali system, I should play C5. Oh, he played C4. Interesting. So we're transposed into like this the terrace defense of the Queen's Gambit declined. So I think I take here, and then I defend my pawn. Now I attack his queen. Develop my knight. So Lichtenpred, since you're a beginner, I'll talk a little bit more, you know, high level here, or low level, depending on your perspective, I guess. But so at a really like zoomed out view of the game of chess, there's three phases, right? There's the opening, where all I'm trying to do is get my pieces off the back rank. You know, I moved these two already. And I'm about to move my bishops, and then move my king, and then move my queen, so that I'm fully developed. My rooks can stay on the back rank for a while. But the idea is, the goal is for the rooks to connect and defend each other. So once that happens, the opening is said to be over, and then we'll start what's called the middle game. And then usually one player fights for an advantage in the middle game, and we have like we have some kind of imbalance, and then the imbalance leads to an endgame that we try to prove that our advantage is better than the other opponent's advantage. So like in that last game, my opponent sacked 2 minor pieces for a rook, and he said, my rook is going to be better than your 2 minor pieces. But I'm like, not so fast. I'm not sure. I think my minor pieces are going to be better. So then we tried to play the end game, and if we had more time, I probably could have proven that my 2 minor pieces were better. But he ran out of time, unfortunately. All right, so Queen B6 seems like an idea. I also want to take this. Yeah, I'm going to deprive him of the bishop pair, since I don't have the bishop pair at this point. Having both bishops is good if your opponent does not have both the bishops. Starts on Monday. Oh, wow. Yeah. You told me that was coming up, Hirok. All right, so Queen F6. Oh, by the way, thanks for the follow, War Creeper. I appreciate that. I missed that earlier. Okay, so Queen F6 develops my queen. I do have a small issue of where to develop my my light square bishop. Oh, I've just noticed this loses a pawn. Well, that's a shame. But I'll have a nice active rook against his queen at the end of that, so I'm not all that worried about it. My bishop gets out naturally as a result of that pawn sack as well. So I get my bishop to a good square and my rook to a good square as a result of losing the pawn. This is called compensation. So you may lose a pawn, but usually you get something for it in terms of piece activity. So my rook is looking really nice. My bishop's looking really nice. So I'm not sure if it's worth an entire pawn, what I got from this pawn sack, but it's something in any case. Well, thanks, Lictopred. It's interesting. How do you search for song? Oh, did you just search for song requests like in the title, and you saw my title? That's funny. I never thought about the fact that my title would actually get me a viewer. That's funny. So queen here means that I can't develop my bishop this way. I wish I could. I would like to develop my bishop though to get my rook more active. So maybe bishop here or here. Actually, yeah, bishop here would be nice for hitting the queen later. This seems good. Yeah, that's nice. So Hirok, how long will your military service last? Like how long should you stay there? Oh, 6 to 12 months. Okay. Well, if you can't tune in while you're there, I'll probably still be here when you come back. So, and then we still have today and tomorrow, I guess. But yeah, it was nice having you in the stream. That's for sure. I always appreciate viewers who are active in the chat. That means a lot. All right, so queen here has a nice threat. He probably just castles. I would like to move my bishop, my rook as well. If he takes here, I have to take back with the pawn. That's unfortunate. I don't really want to do that. So queen here actually seems better. Let's do that. So he'll probably castle, yeah. And because the threat was queen here mate. Winning the game. Alright, so rook here gets my last piece developed. Alright, and here I can't take with the rook because of... Oh, I can actually. The queen is guarding the rook. But I'm going to get an isolated pawn no matter what I do because after rook takes, he goes rook takes. My queen can't take because of this. So if I'm going to get an isolated pawn, do I want 2 pairs of rooks or just 1 pair of rooks? I think I'd rather keep the rooks on the board. So let's just go this way. I really wish I hadn't lost that pawn because my the compensation that I got for it seems really dim now. All of his pieces are just about as active as mine. Okay, so he's threatening this pawn. I think I want to like work to double these rooks. It's a small gate of time. Maybe this rook up is a little bit more accurate because it eliminates a threat. If he goes like this, I can step to this file instead. It's not really what I would want to do. Maybe bishop here is actually better. Okay, this is annoying. Okay, now bishop back. He has this and then this. I don't have to defend this pawn again right now, so the bishop could come back this way. And after bishop here, there, I could actually take this way. Oh my god. He was threatening my rook too. I'm going blind, people. Apparently I can't see today. Okay. So Lichtenpred, you generally favor having a rook over having a bishop. So I'm definitely losing now. So this move comes with a threat, but then he has f3 actually, so that's no good. It's not necessarily that one direction is better, but if you think about a diagonal, the king can dance around a diagonal by going on the other color, whereas a rook cuts off the king, and the king would be stuck on one half of the board. So yeah, the rook is better because it controls the enemy king better in the endgame. The bishop can only see half the board. It can only go on light squares, whereas the rook could go and control any color it wants. Yeah, you generally favor rooks. And I don't even have any targets. I don't know what to play for here. I feel like just resigning. Normally I wouldn't resign, but I mean I'm really low on time and I have nothing. I have nothing to play for. I mean there's just like cheap shots like this hitting pawns. It's not really a plan. It's not really a plan at all. Oh, he can actually take here too, because after takes, he has this move, putting me in checkmate. So yeah, I'm just lost here. So when is a bishop strong? So a bishop might be strong if he has like he's centralized, he's defended, and he can't be attacked by a pawn, and it just controls a lot of squares in the enemy camp. And a rook is weak. Say if this rook was right here, this rook wouldn't be doing anything behind my pawn and king, so that would be a weak rook. Yeah, so he's taken here. I'm just gonna resign. Okay. You guys didn't see that game. So I still want to find this. I remember seeing some page on Lichess. Okay, I've got another game. Do you remember this page where you can go and see the bell curve of all the players? Um, like all the ratings show up in a bell curve, and it shows your position on the bell curve and like what percentile you're on. Oh, maybe it's on the play tab. I think I know where this is. It's another tab instead of like quick pairing. Court. No, it's not. It's not here. Lobby. No, it's not here. Darn. Okay. Yeah. So mobility is a big deal. Is a big part of it. Lichtenpred. Um. So when a piece is really mobile and attacking a lot of good squares, it's said to be a good piece. And when a piece is stuck, like right now, this bishop is terrible because it can't go anywhere. It has 0 moves. Um. So I want to try to improve that eventually by playing like a move like this and bringing it out this way. And bishops in particular have something called being like good and bad. Um, so it was a nice explanation. That's a nice example of here is why the reason I took his rook over mine, like the reason I traded my bishop from his, is because of the way the pawns are situated. His light square bishop is somewhat limited by his light square pawns, and my light square bishop is not limited by my center pawns. My bishop can look in both directions from behind my pawns, and his bishop can only look on one side. So I would rather. So I like this idea where his bishop can only go here, and my bishop can look at both directions. So I have a good bishop, and he has kind of a bad bishop, just because of these 2 pawns. Of course, his bad bishop isn't that bad, because he could get outside of his pawns. If he had another pawn here, it would be even worse. But so now I'm the only one with a bishop, and a bishop is slightly better than a knight. Yeah, there's there's a lot going on in chess, a lot more than meets the eye. Hmm. Yeah, I had that game when I was a kid, Lick to Pred. That's that brings back a lot of fond memories. I used to play games and try to make every like I would try to see what the animation was for each piece type. So like I would play it on purpose so that the the knight would take the pawn, or the knight would take the other knight, or the knight would take the bishop, just to see how the knight would do, what the knight would do in each situation, because every time there was a different animation. Yeah, they all had their own animations and own costume design or whatever. It was really fun. I remember that. I remember that really well. So this move looks good because the pawn is pinned. Um, it also frees my rook up to defend g2 if I need to do that. So let's do that. Oh wait, the pawn's not pinned actually. If he takes here, he's threatening my queen. So if I take, I'm actually losing a piece. Takes, takes, check here, and then bishop back. I guess I'm okay actually. Okay, now this pawn is pinned, right? So I can't take this one. He takes my queen. So let's do this, I guess. All right, so he's just freed my bishop, which is nice. I'll take back with the rook here. So we've reached an endgame here called the Fischer endgame, where it's rook and bishop versus rook and knight. And Fischer has played several endgames with this material imbalance, and proved that the rook and bishop are better than the rook and knight. So I do have a weak H pawn because it's isolated. So I have some work here to do, but ideally this is an endgame I should be able to win. I can't push here because this pawn hangs. Let's move my king. No, let's not do that. I'm gonna go here. Oh no. Okay, well if I go here, he actually can't take it with a rook. I could take it with a knight, and then I would pin his rook or knight or whatever. So it's just the knight versus the bishop. I don't know how well I like that, but it's worth a try, I guess. Yeah, if I play correctly, but I've already lost a pawn here, so I don't know how well I'm gonna do with this. Although knight here, rook here, if the knight moves, I have I can kick the knight, and then bishop check wins the rook. Oh, but not with the knight here because he's defending the rook. Okay, so let's just see if we can get this working though somehow. Because if I can distract the king, but like this is literally his only. I mean, maybe if he goes this way, then I have a winning move. But if he goes here, it doesn't look good for me. He has a simple majority on the king side. And I have a backward pawn. Yeah. So now the bishop thing doesn't work because he could just take it with his knight. And I can't even do this as I was thinking earlier because he just takes my rook. All right, my king is more active than his. Maybe I still have something here. His knight has to go back, right? He can't allow me to take this pawn. Yeah, I don't even remember where I heard that because I can't say really here that I can't really say that I've studied that in game, you know. Okay, and now his knight is gonna, yeah. So my pawn's now being on the wrong colors is kind of a problem. So I think I take here, and then I need to put my bishop here to stop his knight from attacking this pawn. So now I've got these squares covered. Yeah, that's actually that's a good thing. That's a good thing to know, actually, for someone that doesn't play chess. That's actually a really great thing to know about chess. He invented a game called Chess 960, which now he's fixed his pawn here. Wow. But then I can come here. Like the fact that his king is not active is a big plus for me. As soon as he takes here, I can take here. Um, and then his knight is trapped actually on this side of the board. So yeah, I think I'm just gonna go like this. Isn't actually trapped, right? Because he is this square, but yeah, because the bishop. Hmm. If my king was here, but I think he can come back in time. Like I'm threatening to take this pawn, and he can't defend it. But after knight here, I take it. He can just move away. Hmm. But here, I'm hoping for a draw. Basically, he said something about a draw. I would appreciate that. Yes, Saru says I should play h5. Yeah, I guess that's true actually, because I want to be able to defend this pawn, like long range with my bishop, right? And if he goes here, my king can come in here and start taking this pawn. This, yeah. All right, so I'm kind of running out of moves here. Larsakuho. I guess so. I mean, it's funny. You asked about homosexuals. The song that we're listening to is about a soundtrack to a movie that features homosexuality in the plot. I mean, it's just funny that you asked the question because you think most people online would be fine with it. Okay, so I can take here with check, and then I can attack this pawn. Oh, maybe I'm doing okay here actually. Because my king could be getting in here. Um, his knight can't. Although he's winning this pretty easily, like with rook here. I should be able to draw this. Let's go here. So I want to keep this pawn. So after he takes here though, he's defending this one, which is bad. I think I'll take here now. If he takes here, I can go here. His knight is tied down this way, and his king is going to be here. I don't know. I don't know how well this is going for me, really. Let's go this way. Then ideally I'd like to put my bishop here. Yeah, I think this is quickly heading for a draw. Oh my god, I just got forked. Wow. Okay, now I'm just lost here. Yeah, this is over. Wow. That was a rough one. The knights can be tricky. So in blitz games they're probably better, but yeah, I didn't have time to think about all the stuff that's going on. I'd still like to find that rating graph. I forgot where they put it. Mobile app, blog, webmasters about, contribute, thank you, donate, contact, terms of service, privacy, database, source code. It's not here. Oh, maybe it's in players. In community players. Yeah, reading stats. Yes, this is here where it is. Okay, so someone was asking like how I do, like, you know, how good I am or whatever. This is a pretty good indication if you know anything about statistics. So this is the bell curve of chess players, and I'm right here, which is 93%. I've been as high as 95, 96. So I have a good mic. Do I do a ASMR? Not on purpose, but I don't know. If you happen to get an ASMR from the way I normally stream, then more power to you. And occasionally I will play against viewers, Coop Chess, but today I'm playing in the Rapid Shield Arena. So yeah, it's a different stream. So some days I do viewer challenges, other days I do tournaments or do you know, different things. Play a simul. You know, sometimes I actually do tournaments where I just invite all my viewers to go into a tournament together here on LeeChess.org, and then we'll all play against each other. So that could work. I've never done a simul before. If I did a simul, I would have to like insist that everyone who joins would be like less than 12 or 1300, something like that. All right, so here I am. I'm paired down. If you don't pay attention to the chat but completely focus on the game, you play a little bit. Yeah, Lictopred, that's true. Streaming means that I sacrifice a little bit of my playing strength because I'm distracted. So sometimes I find my rating going down on stream, so I play a bunch when I'm not streaming, just to be able to get those points back. That's a weird move. This music is it's interesting. But we're listening to the soundtrack from a Japanese movie called Gohatto. Now this guy, well, he's higher than me in the tournament, but he's not as strong as I am. So he's probably played longer, like more hours in the tournament. This is an 8-hour tournament. So I only joined maybe I joined maybe 2 or 3 hours late. So while he has more points than me, I'm pretty confident in my ability to beat him because of this number here, 1348. So So what is this move? Yeah, so this move, even more than his rating, this move kind of suggests that he doesn't know what he's doing. Because, like, the knight wants to go here, not the pawn. Now his knight only has the one square to go to. So I'm going to castle. So Coup Chess, I do play, like I said, I do play viewers on other streams, maybe a different day, like tomorrow or Monday or Tuesday next week. I would be up for playing viewers. So some days I play tournaments, some days I play viewers, some days I do, different things. I occasionally do puzzles and in-game studies and stuff like that. So I definitely try to do a variety of things, just even for my own sake, so I don't get bored with streaming. Okay, so there must be something tactically here because knight here looks like a nice threat on his queen, but the bishop is defended by the knight, right? But if his queen moves, let's say his queen moves here, for example, I could take his knight first and then take his bishop. That's hairy. There's a lot of tactics there. There's a lot going on there. But the knight actually has two threats, right? Because he could take the bishop and then play rook here, knight here. Anyway, it looks good. I'm gonna try it. Yeah, he rook. I agree. This guy doesn't seem to know what he's doing very well. This poor knight is kind of out of the game. If he goes here, his position hasn't really been improved by all that much. Okay. So now I can swap off my bad bishop for his good one. So he's left with a bad bishop, and then I have my good one. So I think I'm gonna go this way. And then my knight can sit here, attacking his dark square bishop. That is, if he takes with the knight. If he takes with the queen, then I have to do something with my bishop here. And I think bishop back here, just to cover the pawn, makes sense. I can also develop my queen here. That seems more active, like a more active plan. Rather than trying to move my bishop backwards, move my queen forwards is generally better. Really dramatic music. I like this. Thanks so much for joining me, Lictopred. I would have never heard of this movie or this soundtrack without you, so I do appreciate that. Okay, so he's castled. I'd like to kick the queen away. I think he's actually forced to take my queen and trade. If I do that, I probably shouldn't be in a rush to trade queens, but I really like my knight coming to like this square, for example, or even this square. So trading queens means that my knight is free to go to those squares because his queen is right now the only one that defends it. So I could start the trade by moving his knight this way, or I can ask him to go do the trade, and then my bishop comes back. I kind of prefer his knight over here, actually. Crusaders' knight is threatening to come here. Yeah, I think I can just play like rook c8 and then kick his knight away. So let's do that. So I'm going to play a6 next. Okay, so now I have my choice between knight here and knight here. They both attack the bishop. I'm just trying to think of, I think there's a good reason to go here. D3 looks better than c4 because if my knight is on c4, he can actually kick it away. Whereas here, he has trouble kicking this knight away. So I think I'm going to go here. Wow, he went backwards. I really expected this move. Okay, well, I think this looks okay. Just kicking his knight. So how long ago was this movie made? Gato. Yes, pieces are getting all tangled up. I really should have a clear way to win here, but I'm not seeing it at the moment. I want to play like b6 to stop his knight from moving forward. Um, At this point, this knight coming here would be more serious than his knight coming to here or here. So I'm going to move this first to stop this knight from moving because he can't move. But then later I'll stop this knight just by playing this pawn forward one by one as well. So I'm just trying to limit the mobility of his pieces as much as possible. Kind of just choke him to death. Oh, I just realized I could have won a piece. I missed a tactical shot. Just removing the defender of this knight. So knight takes bishop, rook takes, bishop takes is the idea. So I think I'm going to do that now. There we go. So I'm hitting the rook. And then next I'll take this pawn. It's weird. The weather has kind of a big effect on my stream. Because I notice normally when I'm streaming this time of the day, my face doesn't stand out quite this much against my wall in the background. But it is raining outside right now. So the sunlight coming into my windows isn't nearly as strong. Okay, so he's just leaving me with this pass pawn, which should be pretty good. Yeah, Lord, I said the same thing when I heard this music. It definitely feels horror-ish, but so I'm just gonna trade the rooks here. Okay, so I want to defend this pawn. I think I can just move it forward to defend my pass pawn here. And then I want to play like rook here to here, just to make my pass pawn even better. Exactly. And it's good my bishop is covering the square, otherwise this would be a nice fork for my opponent. Yeah, I'm glad there are no jump scares in this music, or I would be in trouble. Okay, so rook here, followed by either bishop takes or pawn up. I should be good here. If he takes here, I take here, and then push my pawn. I should be fine. Okay, so somebody requested the move. That's funny. So Luctapred, yeah, you actually requested the music from The Shining. That's funny. The Shining actually is a horror movie. So now if I move my pawn up, he can't take it. And then my bishop can defend here or here. So how does my bishop want to defend? I guess this way is fine. Other music from The Shining? Okay, yeah, maybe I should be careful. Alright, bishop seems good here, controlling all the squares from the knight. If he plays pawn up, I just go like knight here. I need to start moving my king into the game. Okay, and then yes, I will absolutely take that knight and then take his pawn, and then now my king is free to march up and then just eat this pawn. This king can never leave this square here, so I'm just going to win this pawn with my king. This king has to always watch over the square. This pawn is mine, and then I have majorities on both sides of the board. This is an easy win. I'm just going to go up here and promote. So I can stalemate his king and then checkmate him next move. GG. Okay, so where is this? Okay, so it's in the players tab. Yeah, so the leaderboard shows like the strongest players. Yeah, so these are all the strongest players and all the different time controls and variants and whatnot. And then there's the stats where you can look at your own rating and how you compare to other people who play that rating, or how people compare to that time control. So this particular piece of music is actually an adapted of Dies Irae, the clerical hymn. Interesting. This song is only 3 minutes long, but it feels a lot longer. I don't know why that is. So my opponent is playing like a King's Indian or Grunfeld or something. Yeah, it's a Grunfeld. Okay. So I think I have a line that I prefer over this is Bishop D2 here. Most people go with E4 eventually, or E4 right away, but then there's issues. Midnight, the stars and you. Is this the one with the jump scares? This is pretty creepy. All right, so I think if I play E4 here, I might be losing this pawn. Maybe not though. After like knight here, I can just play like bishop here. And knight here is the same way because this pawn's already defended. Yeah, let's do that. If he takes my knight, I take back with the bishop, and that's the whole point of bishop d2. Stanley Kubrick was a genius. I've seen a lot of his movies, and I liked almost every single one of them. He has some weird stuff, but it, it all has a really interesting message. Okay, good. No jump scares. Good. This is not a jump scare. This is not a jump. This is not a jump scare stream, even though it is kind of a. Yeah, and didn't he pass away recently? Not. I don't know how recent. Maybe it was several years ago, but as I recall, he's dead. Okay, so now bishop out. The Shining. Oh, 1999. That long ago. Oh wow. Okay. Must be some other director I was thinking of. Yeah. So E4. I was looking for something like to play as an alternative to E4 a while ago, and I like the idea of playing Bishop D2 and then playing E4 later. Just because the C3 pawn is always so weak when he recaptures the knight. When he captures the knight, I always have to take back with the B2 pawn, and then this C3 pawn is always so weak. But here I avoid that. I can just keep my pawns where they are in A2 and B2. I think I'll take with the bishop here. Eyes Wide Shut. Okay. Yeah, I think Eyes Wide Shut was actually the very first Kubrick film that I ever watched. And that was because as a teenager I knew that there was nudity in it. So maybe bishop here with tempo on the rook. I really like that he blocked in his own bishop. So I think I'll go here now. And if he moves his rook, I think queen here looks good. Just trying to develop with tempo. Whereas queen here, he has bishop here. But that's fine. It's not a big deal. Then I want to play castle and move my rooks here. Okay, push it back. Eyes Wide Shut track is coming up. Should be interesting. So now my bishop can come here. I need to figure out where my knight belongs. I was thinking like this way. Yeah, that seems like a plan. Although my knight is doing a nice job of keeping his knight out of the square. Um, maybe I can put my rook here, and then my knight can move. Let's do that. This music is so soft. I think I can turn up the volumes temporarily. Whoa, doesn't... Oh, I see. He gets this pawn in the end. So he gives up this pawn for this pawn. Yeah, I'm not interested actually in that trade at all. So that means I need to go like this to defend my knight. Yeah, because I want his pawn to stay here, blocking in his own bishop. So I'm not gonna try to win this pawn because he gets this one. There we go, eyes wide shut. Nice. Guess I actually... No, I didn't. Yeah, if the black player knows the Grunfeld really well, then white has trouble. So that's why I chose the sideline bishop d2, just to avoid some of the theory. And by the way, I'm not sure here that Lichtenberg even knows what theory means, so let's try to explain that. So theory in chess means that there are very good players called grandmasters who play against each other from the same opening position, right? So us mere mortals can just memorize what they do, and the accumulated body of knowledge that they have in their games is called theory, because we can just learn it and play like they do for the first 5-10 moves. So now I'm threatening to take here because that actually does win a pawn. My queen is defending this pawn right now. Okay, so he'd rather just trade knights. So that seems okay. So now I can just take here and win a pawn? No, he traps my bishop. That's no good. But I would like to trade here just because I don't want him to have the doubled rooks. So just one more time, because after b6 I'm seeing that I have queen a6 that defends my bishop and threatens this pawn. Okay, that's really weird. Are you guys hearing the same thing I am with the phone ringing? That's really weird. Like, I feel like there's a phone ringing in the background of the song, or maybe somewhere in my house. I don't really understand. Or I'm hearing things. One of the two. I'm gonna try taking this pawn and see what happens. Yeah, I've never tried the Grunfeld as black, but as white, you have to know what to do. If you play d4, you have to know what to do against the Grunfeld as white. So I've looked at it just from that perspective, same as he worked. Okay, that's interesting. So instead of b6, he's attacking this pawn. Okay, I guess that works out for him. Because my bishop can't move really to attack anything. Just briefly looking at this, because queen takes, I have this check. Bishop back. I'm not saying anything after that. Nothing for me. Okay. It was in the song? Okay. Yeah, thanks. Because I thought I was going crazy, because that sounded like a cell phone ring or something. Alright, so now queen here. Seems active. It's putting pressure on this pawn, it's defending my own. Um, I guess I'm threatening here and then there as well. Okay, so he stopped that. I have this move, but that loses immediately. So I don't have that move. So I think I'll make some space for my king. Maybe not light square space. Let's make dark square space. Okay, so now I'm threatening this. Hmm. So by leaving his bishop leaving his king side, left his king side kind of weak. So now he has back rank problems. I'm threatening to checkmate him. So I think he has to move his rook all the way back. Um, so things are looking up for my position, I think. Just because I think my bishop is doing slightly more than what his bishop is doing. Oh, I guess he could also just play like f5 or something just to give his king some space. But if he plays f5, I would go like rook here. Okay, and I think I'm still going to go rook here. So it's more eyes wide shut. Okay, now my king can get active and his cannot. I'm definitely a fan of creepy music. I don't know about you guys, but this is cool to me. Like, this is pretty fun. Okay. And so now what I'm saying here is that my bishop is only very slightly better than his because my pawns are going to be on light squares and his pawns are going to be on dark squares. So this is my idea here, that he has a pawn on a dark square here, and his bishop is going to be kind of like hampered by that, where stuck defending it basically. Whereas my bishop is going to be in an attacking role. So that's my idea here. So once I put all my pawns on light squares, eventually he's going to have to start moving his pawns on dark squares. Like, eventually these two pawns are going to have to start moving. And when they do, my bishop will be able to attack them, and his bishop will not be able to defend them. So I'm going to move my last couple of pawns on light squares. And either his king has to move, and my king can start to infiltrate, or his pawns will start to move. So he's going to be in Zugzwang soon. That's my idea. All right, so maybe bishop here. I only have a minute left. Okay, now bishop here. And then here. So now my king is starting to get active. This is really good for me. He's losing something. Oh yes, this is more from Eyes Wide Shut. I remember the scene well. And now his problems become even worse because I have an outside pass pawn, and he still has all these targets to defend with his bishop. Can't believe this guy's 1800 and doesn't know that he's completely lost. I guess he's just tilted or something. All right. Yeah. Like, he just didn't realize that his bad bishop was that bad. Like, it wasn't that hard to prove that his bishop was a lot worse than mine there, with my pawns on the light squares the way they were. That was interesting. That was pretty instructive, I think. Good bishop versus bad bishop. All right, so I'm in 400th place out of 1700. So that's in the top 25%. That's not bad for only playing. Say I've been playing. What's my uptime here? So I've been playing in this tournament for 2.5 hours roughly. Out of an 8-hour tournament, I'm already in the top 25%. It's not too bad. Okay, so now here I'm paired up against a really strong player. So we'll see how well I do against him. Okay, so close Sicilian. I'll just start to play like this. See what happens. Oh, that's interesting. All right, let's go for the dragon, I guess. So it's not quite a dragon anymore because with the dragon I want to play with my my pawn on d6, but Yeah, with this position, I'll be able to do something like this with my knight and breathe a little bit easier, I think, based on oh, this is a problem. Oh boy. Okay. Oh, I don't even know what to do here. This is bad. I feel like I've screwed this up completely. Like, this feels like my only move here. That's terrible. Okay, Rick. Have a good night, man. Yeah, if I were him, I would just go here anyway, so that I have to take it off, and then I don't have a dark square bishop. This is terrible. Like, I've really misplayed this opening, and he's punishing me like really hard. Because I shouldn't have to move pieces back like the way I did. So like e6, I think was a big mistake. Basically, is what I'm thinking here. Is that the way I play this with e6 is just terrible. Maybe there was a better move than knight back here, but more Spirited Away. Cool. It's a lot less creepy, that's for sure. Yeah, e6 and g6. Yeah, I hear you. That makes a lot of sense. But I wanted to get in the move d5, and e6 seemed to be the only way to play for d5. But maybe I should have just been happy with d6 and castling. Because here it doesn't look like I'm going to be castling soon. Yeah, probably trying to play for d5 was asking for too much out of my position earlier. That was my reasoning behind d6. Just wanted to play d5. That's all. True. True that. Because now suddenly I have all this to deal with. But I don't know. On the bright side, they are dark square weaknesses, and his dark square weakness is stuck behind all of his pawns. So maybe I don't know. Just trying to think optimistically. I want to play a6 and b5 and then bishop b7, and maybe I can actually castle on the queen side here. I don't know. Oh, he played c3. Interesting. Another dark square against his dark square bishop. Oh, interesting. Okay, so don't I just have this? If I play d5 now and he takes en passant, I can take back with the. I mean, yeah, but that gets rid of his most advanced pawn, and I don't have the dark square bishop anymore. But I can start to fix those weaknesses, right, by moving my pawns to dark squares. So I think so I'm gonna go this way. Let's see what happens. He has to take here, and now I take here. Just as usually the knight exploits dark square weaknesses in the opening. Yeah. Um, Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and castle on the side that has fewer weaknesses. Like this all nonsense is crazy. I'm not gonna castle over there. This is much better for my king behind these two pawns. Threatening this against his dark square bishop. And so he's threatening this with my rooks here. So by moving his knight, he also defended the square. So maybe I need to play like h5. So with opposite sides castling, usually he wants to advance his pawns, and I want to attack with my pawns. So h5 comes with a nice threat. So he's going to play like this, I guess. So now he's threatening my queen. So I have to defend this way, I guess. I still have this. Alright, so he's defending this way. Now maybe knight here makes sense. It prepares to kick his knight away. So I'm hitting a lot of stuff here. So now he's on this now. Okay, so I can't take here because he just takes my queen. I can take here. Not really though. He just takes it. Oh boy. So if I step back with my queen, gosh, I've opened the b file. How did that happen? I guess I had to defend this pawn. Hmm. If I step back with the queen, he has to take with the knight, because otherwise this pawn falls. Oh well, the bishop would be attacking the rook though, so he could take with either really. I wish there was something more active I could do. And even if I attack his queen, he takes my queen with check, so that's no good. Scrimson, I feel like I'm the same way, but you're probably better positionally than I am. But I don't know tactically how good I am. So we'll see. I don't know. So I want to play this move, but he's on my. Actually, that's better, right? I can just take here. I'm attacking his queen, but he's only attacking my rook. So let's do that. Surely. Oh, maybe he has this move. But I take here with check. No, this should be fine for me. Okay, so he saved his queen. And now he still has this threat. And none of my knights are too far away from that square. I think I'm screwed, actually. Knight takes here would be cool if his knight wasn't guarding the square. So this threat is serious, right? I mean, I could. Well, no, I could just trade queens, right? I'm not down material or anything right here. So yeah, bishop here is not a big deal because I just have check with forcing the trade of queens. All right, so let's just improve a piece here. But this actually looks tempting, right? Because but takes. He would just take my knight. Okay, that's no good. Okay, so I got to save this knight actually. Let's come back here. More Spirited Away. So he's still not taking my rook. Almost kind of forgot that was there, but it sort of makes sense what he's doing because his dark square bishop is so good. With me not having my dark square bishop, um, hmm. So Scrimsien, do you play on Lichess? What is your rating? I wonder. Resetting your PC. I'm actually in the middle of you don't have a rapid rating? Okay. My you said something about resetting your PC. Like I'm in the middle of building a new PC right now. I was kind of upset actually because I put it all together today and went to go power it on, and then I realized I forgot to buy a power supply. So I kind of screwed myself, and now I have to wait a whole nother week because all my parts arrived. I put it together, and now I have to wait a whole nother week because I don't have a power supply. I thought I included it in my original order, but I guess it didn't. Okay. I guess this guy's gonna beat me now because I'm down the exchange and he has a pass pawn. So so yeah, he's wants to trade off his rook and then interesting. So he's winning this pawn instead of trading rooks. Oh my god, he just takes here. Okay, that's good enough. I resign. Okay. Yeah, getting paired up like that is really tough sometimes. You've been playing chess for 3 or 4 years. Okay, that's good. I've been playing chess for a lot longer. But yeah, I don't know. It's it's a really deep and complex game, and I feel like at the lower levels, your tactics make a much bigger impact on your playing strength than your strategy does. So the advice I always give to lower rated players is just work on tactics. Only work on tactics. Yeah. So strategy is good to know and everything, but you have to play positionally and strategically with tactics in mind, right? Like you have to know which ideas will work and which ideas might not work, just based on the position and where the pieces are and where they can move and everything. That move's annoying. I think I have to do this and concede a little bit because I really don't want to trade this bishop off for this one, but but I'm much more likely to want to do that if it damages his pawn structure. Yeah, let's go for that. Okay. So now I'm gonna castle now to get my king to safety. All right. So the plan to get this bishop a little bit more is just to move these pawns off the dark squares. So I think I can actually get away with this move right now. 1 2 1 2. Right. So of course after his knight, the bishop here is going to be attacking this way. More eyes wide shut. So my queen would be defending that pawn though after that recapture. So let's just check the order. If he goes knight first, I'd have to go knight, and then he'd need to win his piece back. Then I would go check. Yeah, and it works because my queen and knight are both defending here. So this works out. This also goes over another positional idea is you want to open up the position when you're castled and your opponent is not. So opening up the center seems like good. If I'm encouraging him to get rid of his pawn. Okay, so now I have the isolated pawn. That's no fun. But we get a nice active knight here. And if he trades it off, then he's fixing my pawn structure. So right now, it's, well here, let me just answer that by giving you the ability to fish instead of just giving you a fish. Hello, come on. I'm doing very well. How are you? To always show it on stream. Yeah, I mean, my video space. Oh, what am I doing? I just realized the chat's hasn't been showing up on stream this whole time. What is going on? Chat? Why is my chat not being on my stream right now? That's really annoying, Streamlabs. Like, you're supposed to be doing this consistently for me. Where's my chat box? Okay. But did my chat URL change or something? Like, oh, I'm so annoyed by this. Like, usually above my head, right up here, is the chat. And I just realized that's been missing the whole time. And now I'm distracted, and I'm probably not. I have a lot more time than my opponent, so let me try to figure this out. It's in the right place. It's visible. It's got the right URL. That's so weird. All right, I'm gonna make a move now. He's attacked my knight. Does this move make any sense? I think it does. It attacks this pawn. It's only defended twice, and it would be attacked 3 times. Let's go here. I don't see how he defends this pawn. Ah, there we go. Finally, it works now. Did I click the eye? No, it was visible. I just think there was something wrong with the URL or something wrong with Streamlabs. I had to click Save Settings on Streamlabs, and now it works again. So hey, we got the chat in the thing. So yeah, the reason I don't have the song displaying all the time on my videos because there's not much room, really, when you consider that I'm putting the chat in the upper right hand corner, and I'm putting in yeah, like everything. My my layout already seems kind of cluttered, you know, like with this guy here now, everything seems kind of just kind of thrown onto the thing. So I didn't really want to put too much. So I think what he has to do here is trade queens and then maybe push this pawn. Maybe even like pushing it to c6 would work, because then only my rook is attacking it, my knight's not anymore. But then I think I can double up my rooks, and then, yeah, I don't know. We'll see. I may end up getting I may end up winning a pawn here. Okay, so just moving his queen aside, I can just, well, taking here is actually kind of risky, right? Because the rook is pinned. The rook is pinning my knight to my queen. So maybe I don't want to do that. But now I think I have this move, skewering the queen with the rook. If pawn up, I win a pawn. Of course, then my knight is pinned again, but maybe I can get out of that easily enough. I don't know if I can or not. Let's see what happens. I think I at least get rid of my my weak pawn here. So bishop here, he has to block, and then I can get rid of my weak pawn and then retreat. So that seems good. Oh, but then my knight is attacked actually. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's go this way, I guess. Yeah, this pin is just horrendous looking. Okay, can I just take his knight now? I think I can. I take his knight, he takes my bishop, I take his rook. If he takes my queen, I take his queen. I think I'm just winning material here. Now I take his, oh, right. Okay, I didn't think of that. So now I go here, and he can't take my bishop because I take his queen. Oh no, his queen's defended. Ouch. What have I done? Okay, so if I save my queen, then I lose the bishop. So I'm just a piece down. If I take his rook, then I get both of his rooks, but he gets a queen and a bishop. Okay, that's probably a more interesting imbalance than just being a piece down. Okay, so I got both of his rooks, but I lost my queen and a bishop. All right, let's get my, and I also got rid of my isolated pawn. So he only has a minute left. So this is not trivial to win for black. That's for sure. He is up material, right? I mean, Lichess is giving him +1 here. So I think I'm just going to win on time at this point. Oh, this is actually a nice fork against his queen and pawn here. There's no back rake stuff yet, so it's good that he let me have this. So taking with a knight is probably fine. If I take with the rook, then he just checkmate. Well, it's check, right? So I don't have to worry about checkmate. But then my knight and my rook are both attacked. But then I have knight here protecting the rook and attacking his king. But if he goes back, then I'm attacking his queen. He's attacking my rook. It should be okay. Knight here, I'm afraid my knight's gonna get stuck. Because he didn't have any squares. Let's go rook. Okay. Now I think knight check. Oh, he just takes it with the queen. Yeah, that doesn't work. If he takes with the knight, I have his queen, but he just takes with the knight. Okay, so now I think I go knight back or rook over. One of those two. I think rook over seems better. Because knight back, he has queen here. He can still play queen here. Hey, Ariel. Yeah, I'm just gonna go back this way. No, this way. There we go. And I'm losing this pawn, but actually, if he takes the pawn, I get one of these minor pieces. I should be okay here. He can't take here because he's got to deal with these pieces. So like queen back here or here. Wait, didn't he just hang his knight? I don't see why I can't take the knight. That works for me. Okay, I only have a minute left. Maybe I want some breathing room for my king. Let's go this way. Yeah, so now I will defend my pawns. Get my king on that square I made for him. Thank you for the follows. Let's see who that was. Direct hit and 6263. Thanks very much. Okay, I don't see the threat, so I'm just gonna make a move. And he's out of time. Okay. Reasons 22. Normally I would, but not today. Today I'm just wanted to play in this tourney. So I'm at 393 out of 1806 here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and host someone or raid someone at this point. I need to go ahead and sign off. I apologize, guys, but this guy that I'm sending you to is a very strong player, and you'll learn a lot from him. So if you guys will just stay in the chat, and we'll all go to the new channel together, and we can all chat over there. So I appreciate everyone watching. If you learned something, click that follow button, or if you just appreciate the song request or whatever, I'd appreciate it. All right, so we'll see you guys next time. Ta-ta for now.